welcome back to another photo tip. Today we're going to be discussing how to pick a new camera. I'm not going to recommend any specific camera simply because that would be a little bit harder to do in this section. We're going to talk about ways that you can figure out the best camera for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about is you need to ask yourself, how much camera can you handle? I know it sounds a little silly, but it's absolutely true. If you're somebody who has a point and shoot camera and it has maybe 2 or 3 buttons to it and you haven't even figured out how to make the pictures play back or download them, or you're not sure what all those little icons on the back mean, then going to something like a digital SLR, that's going to be a little bit too much camera for you, and you're going to find yourself kind of lost in a sea of photography there. So you want to make sure that you're getting the camera body that's going to work really well for you, as well as what are you going to be shooting. If you're somebody who's only going to shoot here, there, sporadically, whatever the case may be, then you may not need something this big. You also want to ask yourself, what kind of camera did you have before? Because like I said, if you had a camera that only had about 2 or 3 buttons and you weren't sure of those, then, or if it's a camera that you bought many years ago, then going to something that's a newer digital SLR or a newer digital point shoot camera is still going to be a big upgrade for you. The next thing you really want to ask yourself is, how much time are you going to invest in this camera? If you go for something like a digital SLR, that's an investment in not only money but time, because you're going to be, you have to learn that camera, whether it's taking workshops and classes or speaking to professional photographers to learn what it is that you can do with that camera to really utilize everything that's available to you. If you're somebody who just wants to open up the package and go, then a point and shoot is probably going to work a little bit better for you, because all you have to do is put a battery in it, put a card in it, turn it on, and go. So you really want to know what it is you're going to be shooting and how much time you're willing to invest in it, as well as what price range you're comfortable with, because like these cameras, point and shoot cameras, you can get a decent one for $100, $150, up to about $300, even $500. A digital SLR is going to run you closer to maybe $1,000, up to like $10,000. So you really want to ask yourself which one's going to work really well for you and which one's going to work better. The last thing is research. Check the internet. The internet is a great font of information. You can type in a specific camera, you can type in just cameras, and you're going to get a lot of information. Some of it are links not necessarily to Canon or to Nikon, but maybe to people who blog about cameras who might have a little bit more information. They've dealt with that camera or held it or used it, tested it out, and they can give you more tips on it. As well as go to the camera stores. You can go to a Best Buy or an Office Max, but if you go to like a specific camera store, those people are trained to ask you the correct questions to make sure that you're getting into the camera body that's going to work best for you, as well as if you're giving it as a gift, the camera body that's going to work best for them. Also feel it, test it out. My uncle was buying a camera and he was sold on one until he picked up another one and he held it and he was like, oh wow, this has some weight to it, and that worked a little bit better for him because he's a bigger guy and he wanted something that didn't feel like it was going to float away every time he snapped a button. And then if it's something that you don't need right away, like it's a holiday gift or something that you're going to use for the holidays, then check your sales ads. Hold off. You may find a camera that you really love that's $400, but if you give it a second, then it might go down and you may not get it 50% off, but you may get it 20, 30, even 40% off, which is a really great deal. Alright, so that's all the time that we have. If you have any questions, by all means leave them on my website or on my Facebook page, and I just started a new Twitter, so you can always send it to me there. It's at @TLRPhotoSTL. Look forward to hearing from you, and next week we are going to be talking about megapixels. What are they? Bye.